Hey, what's up guys, it's Marv and welcome back to another Asphalt 9 video. And I was actually working on a video for the Devil 16 and also another video talking about the Drive Syndicate, but we got a pretty unexpected and very awesome article from Gameloft going over the roadmap and sort of wrapping up this month. And there is a ton of stuff in this roadmap, or at least lots of really big items for news. So I thought I'd go over it and share it with you guys, and a lot of this stuff is pretty exciting. Firstly, we have some info about the very controversial season tokens, and from this article it says that they are going to be removing season tokens from the game, not necessarily permanently, but they won't really be a part of the game starting from after next season. So they will be phased out, at least for the time being. And just to let you guys know, it's going to be the Dragon Race season, and that will be the last season with season tokens. To be perfectly honest with you guys, I never really got into the season tokens thing. It's just tough to keep track of yet another currency. I would either spend them all right before the season ended just so I could, spend them on something and not waste them, or I would gather as much as possible and then just have them converted over to tokens, even though the conversion rate is understandably pretty bad. But I never really gave too much thought into them, and to be honest, I think it was just because of the way that I don't like to manage a bunch of currencies in my game. I know that the community has sort of flip-flopped on this currency. Some people like it, some people don't. So honestly, it's hard to give my full thoughts because I didn't think too much about them. But again, like I said, they aren't permanently removing them. They are also going to be thinking about ways that they could possibly improve it and maybe re-implement them back into the game. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the long term with season tokens. But after Dragon Race, they will no longer be in the game for the time being. Next up, we have something that could also be very controversial, and that is a new feature called Overclock. Essentially, this is a stats boost that will be available for a limited amount of cars for a limited amount of time. Now, the item is going to be called an Overclock chip, and that name is still work in progress, and it will be made available through both offers and obtainable as rewards in season events. So thankfully, it's not going to be exclusively a paid item to get. But that does raise the question of, is this going to be a similar situation to Asphalt 8, where the people who could afford to dump money and currency into boosts would have a massive advantage? Now, luckily, that game turned into everyone having boosts all of the time, so it was never really an issue in the long run. Like, I always play Asphalt 8 with all my boosts on because I always get them every single day. So I don't know how Gameloft is going to manage the overclock chips in terms of Asphalt 9, but from the sounds of how they're explaining it at high level, it does seem like it will be pretty similar to the tuning kit from Asphalt 8, but you cannot apply it to every single car, and it will be only available for a limited amount of time as well. So again, we don't have too many details for this, but we will get more information about this closer to when they're ready to release this new feature. Next up, we have just a bit of information about the Drive Syndicate. Obviously, they are going to continue it in the long run, but they are really confirming that we are getting more of those short stories like we did with Firebreak and Wildfire. So in the future, we will have some new different daily events that could possibly turn into special events that focus on shorter stories within the Drive Syndicate universe. So I assume we'll still get our normal Drive Syndicate every 6 or so months, but we will also get more of those short story events like Firebreak and Wildfire, and those are kind of exciting, and a lot of people seem to enjoy those. Last but certainly not least, we have possibly the biggest piece of news in this roadmap, and that is the introduction of a Gameloft ID. So for the first part, it will be released for Windows, Xbox, and Steam accounts, and it will be created through a new login system that will, I guess, attach a Gameloft ID to your current account, and it's supposed to work through all of Gameloft titles, so not just Asphalt 9, and over time they will progress the expansion to other platforms, and I assume that will include Android and iOS, and the roadmap for that is later next year. Now, they do specifically say, and I quote, to allow for even more flexibility to be able to choose where you want to play. So that is a very crucial piece of information, and this pretty much confirms that the Gameloft ID system will be the main system to enable cross-platform. And the information that Android and iOS is coming later next year means that hopefully within 2024 we can expect full cross-platform integration into Asphalt 9. It's definitely been a long time coming, but I'm super glad that we're finally getting just a bit more information about cross-platform. As I'm recording the Devil 16 races for the video, I'm going through lots of pain just going through 1v1s because the servers on iOS are not doing very well. So in my opinion, we desperately need cross-platform as soon as possible. Hopefully this timeline is accurate and we won't have to wait till 2025, because at that point, who knows what's really going to happen with the game. But hopefully sooner rather than later, we will get our hands on cross-platform, and then I'll also be able to play with you guys on Windows and Android, and I think streams will also be a lot more fun with that in mind. So that is a bit of information, and I'm really hoping that Gameloft continues these roadmaps into 2024. It's been a while since we've gotten something like this, and the last time it was the dev chats, and that was a very long time ago. So I'm glad they're doing something, and again, hopefully they'll continue this throughout next year. These pieces of information are so important to understand the future of the game and just get in touch with the developers and see where their heads are at. I absolutely love the transparency, especially about season tokens. It was quite an interesting development to see how the community reacted to that, and I'm really glad that Gameloft are understanding about taking a step back and reevaluating the introduction of season tokens. Who really knows what they'll decide on, but again, I'm really excited for the future of Asphalt 9, and the fact that they are even doing something like this is really awesome. You'll see a lot of game development companies just don't say a word, and sometimes that can be very frustrating for the community. So I'm really happy that Gameloft is putting out this roadmap, and again, hopefully we will see more in the future. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Of course, I'm also working on the classic Asphalt 9 New Year's wish list. That'll come later on, either this year or very early next year. But for now, this is just an awesome roadmap, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys later.